Let's talk footy. So news today. Now, we're recording on a Wednesday morning. Angus Crichton, I don't think this is a great surprise, Braith.
No.
Signs with Rugby Australia, rugby background, World Cup around the corner, and probably, frankly, a good time for the Roosters and he to part ways. He's been fantastic since he's come back. But he's 29 now and, you know, they've got out, obviously, the Roosters. Not that it was their choice, but he's still in his prime.
Well, the one thing with the Roosters, you don't know if it's their choice or not, right? Well, we don't from the outside looking in because, you know, they do things a little differently. They're pretty ruthless, but when they want someone, they usually get them. But this isn't a surprise, Dan, because unlike others, he's got a rugby union background. You know, went to Scots College, played elite rugby union through the grades, and then went to South, and then the rest is history. He's been really good for the Roosters. You know, he's had a few lapses over the last few years where you thought maybe it was coming to an end in terms of his playing career at the Roosters, but then he just tended to find form and play some really good rugby league. So, there's been rumours about this for a couple of years now. 2027 World Cup, we're hearing it's either a 1 or 2 year deal. You know, a couple of publications have got it at 1, the other at 2, so we're not sure. But
end of the year, so 1 more year at Roosters.
Yeah, 1 more year at Roosters, then he'll go on and play you would think, the World Cup. Just with Rugby Australia, the contract. You know, it is interesting. I mean, they're two entirely different codes. I've played them both at a high level. So, you know, although he's played it at a young age, to just kind of go and play a World Cup and step straight into an Australian team and think that he's going to be, you know, elite and at the very height of rugby union. He's also a bit of the unknown. So, but you know, he's had a great time at the Roosters, and it's a.
I think it's one of the great comebacks, really, from where he was 3 years ago, where the stuff we were hearing, you would have heard a lot more than me, and he's openly spoken about it and challenges mentally. Pretty phenomenal. That season he had. Not in 24, in 24. One of probably his best ever season. And he, you know, he had some damn good seasons before he went off the rails. Even
Origin, he's been great for New South Wales. And you're right, where he was and where he is now is a credit to him. And a lot of players go through some tough times, and athletes and just people in general. And you know, we all talk about mental health and all that. And he was in a dark place. And to go from there to back to elite level and, you know, play the way that he has, and now have the opportunity to play for Australia in the World Cup is massive.
You know, I'm looking here, Braith, while you're talking, so there's a reason I'm looking at my phone.
Instagram or?
No.
I was going to say something else. But...
You got your shirt on. And I'm looking, you know, the player we don't hear much about regards to this, Cam Murray. I would have thought there would have been and I think there has been, a massive offer in the past to get Cam Murray over. He, like Angus Crichton, rugby school, but South Sydney have him. He signed till 2028, so he's not going to be part of the World Cup. But are we expecting Nawaqanitawase? He's off back to rugby.
Yeah, Japan.
Japan, but that's as a pit stop on the way to the World Cup. I guess we're at that time right now. If Rugby World Cup's in 2027, these players have to commit now. We expecting any more?
No, I don't see it as a threat at all. Because not only are these guys going only a year in advance, there's a reason for that too, is because they're ex-rugby union players. So they can pick up the skill. They've played it before at a high level. So, you know, you can't just go and take any rugby league player and think they're going to play for Australia within 12 months. It's not going to happen. So they've obviously gone for guys that have been there, done that aren't going to take as much learnings and knowledge to get to know the rules. But there's that many rules in rugby union. Like, it's not that simple. So I don't see it as a threat at all. Time's run out. They've made this call early on both these players because they will be great additions for Australian rugby union. But I can't see, if anyone goes, it may be 1 or 2, but I can't see it happening.
Now, you said something there that I'd forgotten, that you played rugby. How far did you get? I mean, let's take modesty away here. How high did we get here?
Well, I got to the point where I was in the Australian Schoolboys League team, and I was about to make the Rugby Union Schoolboys team, but the coach rang me and said, kind of, what path are you going to take? And I said, I'm going to go with the league, so don't pick me, kind of thing. So I loved rugby union, loved playing it, didn't enjoy
fly half.
fly half 5'8", went all through the grades, Randwick and New South Wales and all that sort of stuff. And nearly went there. When I went to the Roosters, I nearly went to the Waratahs at that point, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, Ewan McKenzie was the coach, and I met with him a few times, but...
so that's around the time Joey was sort of...
Yeah, pretty similar. I think it was just after.
Right.
Just after, yeah. Yeah, and
wow.
I genuinely took it very serious and considered it for sure.
Was the money... Don't give me details, but was it better? Was it even? Was it worse?
To give people an idea with how this works is if you're not, a lot of it's based on how many games you play for Australia. So if you're going to sort of turn your back on security, good money in the NRL to go, say, play for the Waratahs, Brumbies, whoever it is, it's a lot of it's incentive based. If you don't play for Australia, the money's not very good. It's nowhere near what it would be here in the NRL. But if you play for your country, then the money's better. And then you obviously open the doors, because you play European, France, Japan, you can go over there and earn big money as well. But I wasn't looking at that. But that's another option. But unless you play for your country in Australia, it's chalk and cheese.
So hang on, when was this? I've
got the worst memory.
07, 08?
Yeah, 05.
So are we still end of George Gregan? So
that era was over.
Sterling Mortlock had gone by then.
Coming to that, it was that period.
And I think Australia rugby was just on we'd made the 03 World Cup final, bad 07.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of a little bit of a spiral, and again, like because they knew, like the head of rugby union knew that I played the game all throughout my till I was 17, 18. It's an easier transition, so I was probably more appealing than just plucking someone who'd never played it before. But that's why I'm telling you. Nawaqanitawase and Crichton, to them it's appealing because they don't need as much work and they're elite players, elite athletes who know the game back to front.
I hope we get Nawaqanitawase back.
We need him back.
How good was he?
Entertainment plus. I mean, he's, he kind of reminded me a little bit at the start like Sean Kenny-Dow because at the start he had those amazing moments, but he had the howlers.
Yeah.
But then he kind of, those howlers, and like Sean Kenny-Dow as well, as they play more games, he had less howlers, got to know the game better, and he had even bigger moments. I'd love to see him back in the game.
Because Crichton, he's 29 now. He'll be 32 by the time, 31, 32.
I think
probably done. He's put his body through a lot. If he came back for a 1 or 2, but Nawaqanitawase will still be in his prime.
We could see him again for sure. Who knows what happens at the World Cup? But I suppose a lot would depend on that. If they have success, he may stay in rugby. If they don't, he could be straight back.